Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Jeff Johnson. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
That's right, kids. Lilith must be on vacation again because it's time for another WonderCast. Your once in a blue moon podcast all about the Ionic Avenger himself, Wonder Man. And this time we're all back. It's me, Phil. We have Mr. Will Ulrich.
Hi.
We have Mr. Justin the Owl.
Hello, everyone.
And we have that diva of podcasting himself, the High Priest of Khonshu, Rey.
We're resurrected once again to talk Wonder Man. It's great.
That surge of ionic energy.
They can't kill us. We keep coming back. They can't kill us, and by they I mean Lilith Hellfire.
Whenever you say Lilith, I always now it's like one of her newest catchphrases or newest drops. I always think of that Frank Miller.
Oh,
So
yes.
whenever you say her name, it's just followed in my head with
like how? How do you sum up Frank Miller's work, kids?
Your mother's a whore.
That's all right. That's
That
fun.
is the best.
I love on that one Spider Cast because remember Russell tried to do his interpretation of it, and you're like, that sounds like something from The Exorcist.
Your mother's a whore.
it was awful.
I know.
Your mother's a whore.
That's terrifying.
It sounds like something that you play your vinyl records backwards. That's the sort of stuff that you hear.
I love we're like less than 3 minutes in, and we've already got to the Frank Miller, your mother's a whore drops.
Well, that escalated quickly.
All right, kids. So this time we're discussing Avengers 2, Wonder Man and the Beast, the 3-issue miniseries. And as Will and I were talking when we first jumped on, like Will said, this could have been easily 6 or more issues because it seemed like they tried to pack a lot into these 3 issues.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Totally. It felt like that for sure. And it had a certain flavor to it, shall I say, mostly in issue 1 of basically here's this person. Here's an introduction to this person.
Wonder Man for beginners.
Here's the Wonder Man. Here's
Exactly.
Wonder Man's origin. Then the Beast is along further. That says you get
the Beast for
origin.
beginners.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the Wonder Man origin again in issue 2.
Yes.
Like,
Just in case you weren't paying attention the first time.
Look, I mean, not ragging on it to an extent, because as Stan Lee said as well, every comic book is someone's first. So I understand what it's meant to do, and I hope it did actually hook in some new Wonder Man fans or Beast fans. But for seasoned readers like ourselves, it's kind of treading familiar ground. So it was kind of here we go. But it was quite thorough, which was good for beginners. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it even brought in, hey, this is when the Beast first joined, and then a few weeks later, Wonder Man came back from the dead again, and there was a lot of there were references to things that I'd completely forgotten about, just because, not just because they didn't just keep them inside the Wonder Man title or the Wonder Man annuals. It was like, this is all kinds of stuff going on out here,
Yeah. I mean, the fight. Sorry.
Yeah, the young woman at the end. She's like, "Hey, you saved me from Red Ron," and I went, "Wait a minute,
Red Ron.
Wait, Marvels? What?
Like 1979 or 880 or whatever that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way back.
What it did really well was that sort of stuff, I think, and I think mainly it resolved or at least answered a lot of questions from the Wonder Man title, because we covered that whole series and it was so much fun to do, and we kind of fell in love with a lot of the characters, Flores and Spider and, the Crazy Eight. So it was really good to kind of get a sense of where they went because, although we probably won't see them again, at least we know that they're doing well. Like one guy's doing a documentary, another one's started a dance studio. So that was good. And also referring to a lot of the events of Wonder Man, most notably the Mephisto
and Lotus as well.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Mephisto? What? What?
Yeah.
Who?
I recall.
Lotus didn't die. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, my mom's still alive. What are you talking about?
Yeah. That was great issue. I loved covering those. They were great issues of the Wonder Man
They really were.
series.
Yeah.
The art was just, Jeff Johnson was just such a great artist. And
Consistently throughout,
that book is just, I can't think of Wonder Man without thinking of him. Wonder Man is, and don't get me wrong, Mark Bagley is an excellent artist, right?
Totally, yeah.
He's done one or two.
But when I think Wonder Man, it's Jeff Johnson's Wonder Man. That's the kind of mark I feel like he left on the character.
Me too.
Yeah. And and just going that way, I'm like, these 3 issues aren't on Marvel Unlimited, and I'm like, why? Because I'm like, is it because they heavily reference the 90s series, and we talked about the writer of the 90s series? Is that the reason why they aren't on there? Because I'm like, he's not writing this miniseries, so I don't see what the problem would be, or is it just that they're referencing his work?
It is really weird because they re-released this 3-part mini as a whole, like not that long ago. Was it beginning of this year or late last year or something?
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah, did it have something else in it too, like maybe some older things?
It may have. Yeah. I think again it was another like another intro, like another springboard for a lot of new readers, and I think they were trying to touch upon some interest after the Wonder Man TV show announcement. But that's kind of gone a bit quiet as well. So,
they released it as Avengers 2, Wonder Man and the Beast, Marvel Tales #1. It was
Marvel Tales. That's right.
In January, Marvel Tales. You say?
Marvel Tales.
That sounds familiar.
Takes me back.
But yeah, it's a shame because that was I would assume that would have been on at least Marvel Unlimited. So we would have read this. Like as that kind of version of it, but anyway, we have all read it. Obviously, what did you guys think overall of the 3 issues and the compactness of it?
I think it made a nice kind of epilogue to the Wonder Man series. It really felt like that to me, like an epilogue for the Wonder Man series with the Beast as a guest star. Because there wasn't much focus on the Beast. He was just there kind of as, a partner in all of the stuff that was going on. But it wrapped up all those loose ends with Lotus, with the Crazy Eight, with the love interest. I can't remember what her name is. Alex, yes, thank you. Alex, that was nice too, to see them have kind of a moment together, being like, I'm sorry I didn't contact you after I returned from the dead. And Alex is like, well, I met somebody else anyway, so no harm, no foul. That type of thing. That was nice to see because Simon never got that closure. And that's kind of really what this series was about for me as a theme, was about Simon getting a lot of closure regarding the things that happened to him throughout his series, which was nice.
Yeah, and there was, to kind of pile on that, it was... I think it would have, because it was so condensed, it was so much so fast. I think if they would have let it breathe a little bit, maybe 6 or 12 issues and kind of interspersed a lot of that throughout, like a series, it might have worked a bit better. But it's Roger Stern. He's, a consummate professional. He knows what he's doing. And it works. It obviously works. It's just that it was a lot. What did we get? Like 4 pages of him trying to turn himself in for murder? And that was done. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Right.
Yeah. I agree with you, Will. I think if it was longer, those supporting characters would have gotten there, would have been justified. We would have enjoyed, especially again being fans of the Wonder Man series. I feel as it is with the 3 parts, I think it would make a really good read. Like if you started reading it, say, immediately after you read the Wonder Man series,
Definitely.
because that's all still fresh in your mind. I think someone coming in, and maybe that's why they had all those intros to the characters, there is a risk of you not being really invested in those characters. You know, like Lotus or Flores or Alex or Spider,
Right.
all that. Or even, who were those guys that they beat up? That the Beast was in the Wonder Man.
The Recession Raiders.
Yes,
or Armed Response.
Armed Response.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, to the newbie, that would be, what is this kind of like one-off kind of villain? But we know the backstory of it. So I feel to get the real benefit of it, you would really need to go. I would recommend reading the whole Wonder Man series before reading this. But having said that, it was good. It was just, as you say, really condensed. I was a little bit disappointed in. I was expecting a real kind of buddy, action romp with Beast and Wonder Man. And although they were there together and they did fight, you didn't get that sense of how good of friends they were. And I felt that they missed out on that opportunity.
Once again, I think the Will's point, just the time, the space constraints,
Yeah.
But I think we did get the. I think when we did the Wonder Man series, remember where like when we got Dark Wonder Man, we're like, wait, did he kill that gang member? And it's like, no, it says say here, no, he was just punching the pavement around them. But meanwhile, he had a heart attack anyway. So
there might have been a bit of flack or something for that because it felt like, we have to address this. So he didn't kill him. He just pummeled.
Caused a heart attack.
Caused a heart attack. Yeah. It's his fault.
Right. Slight difference there. Slight difference.
Yeah.
So, question for you guys. I have. God, I can't even. I don't remember. I'll be honest. I'm old. I'm sure I have it, but I don't remember actually ever reading Force Works #1.
One of Phil's favorites, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember reading that and being like, what does that end? What the F?
So I mean, having reading the Wonder Man series and then maybe actually reading Force Works #1, and then I don't know. I'm a big fan, and I will always recommend that somebody read, Kurt Busiek and George Perez's Avengers, no matter what.
Definitely, yeah.
Get the Wonder Man Return, and then jump into this, and you've got, what? I don't know. 8 years.
Omnibus. Omnibus.
Yeah, that's an omnibus worth of material right there. Absolutely. Oh, speaking of which, we are getting a Wonder Man omnibus. We should talk about that.
Oh, really?
Are we?
Yeah. We are.
Excellent.
We're getting a Wonder Man, the Early Years Omnibus.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
It's collecting a whole bunch of stuff. I almost forgot to mention that at the start of the show.
Oh yeah.
Cool. What issues it's collecting? I mean, I assume Avengers #9.
Yeah, it's going to have all the basically the classic appearances. It's going to have the Wonder Man special that we talked about. It's going to have the Marvel Spotlight issue that we talked about. It's going to have the Marvel Comics Presents arc. It was like 7 or 8 issues. I can't remember what that one was called. There were a couple of solo Avengers Spotlight appearances. A handful of West Coast Avengers stuff.
Mm-hmm. Just pulling it
but
up.
Yeah,
Now.
mainly stuff in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I don't think there was anything from the 90s in that pile, unless I...
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I have to ask, do we get the Christmas tree outfit?
It's on the front cover.
It's good. Yeah. It looks like it's Arthur Adams cover.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no,
that's it.
No, I was talking about the one with the jetpack from the Vision and Scarlet Witch series.
Yeah, no.
Maybe that'll be a variant cover.
So Phil, you got the details there?
Yeah, well, it's available for pre-order now. Yeah, it's releasing on December 19th, so a nice little Christmas present for the comic fan in your life, kids. Yes, it's on Amazon right now for $116 American dollars.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was going to say, yeah. Okay, it collects Avengers 9, 52, 131, 132, 151 through 153, 157 through 160, 164 through 166, 180, 192 through 194, We got 197, 203, 207 through 208, 211, 239. Giant Size Avengers 3, Marvel Team Up 78, Marvel Premiere 55, Marvel Toon 178, Vision and the Scarlet Witch number 3, Vision and the Scarlet Witch number 2, West Coast Avengers number 2, West Coast Avengers 1 and 2, and 25. Avengers West Coast 66 through 68, Wonder Man number 1 from 1986.
86, yeah.
Yeah.
And you got extra material from Avengers 201, Annual 6, Solo Avengers 13, Marvel Comics Presents 38 to 45, Avengers Spotlight 28, Marvel Superheroes number 4, Avengers West Coast 65, and Avengers Classic 9. So they really pick literally, I think, where he appears. So you might get part 2 of 6, and that's it, and then of an arc. Yeah, it's really weird.
I mean, that's pretty much most or all of his appearances before that 90s series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's great. So that's worth picking up for any Wonder Man fans.
So I wonder if they're going to keep rolling with some of the Wonder Man collections, since he is going to be joining the MCU.
No pun intended, right, Phil?
Why?
You wonder.
Oh, yes.
I don't know what is happening with that MCU thing. Is the writer's strike and all that? Everything's been put on hold.
Yeah,
I don't know how far they got into production with that series. I think they just did. I know that they did a couple of casting parts, but I don't know if they worked on scripts or anything like that.
I saw. I guess it was a Facebook ad or something for Ghost Rider. Did I see that right?
Oh,
for a new Ghost Rider.
Oh.
I think they were talking about it, but yeah, I don't know if
that rings a bell. Yeah, maybe.
Because it had Catherine Zeta-Jones in it. It had
what?
Yeah,
Really?
maybe I just dreamed this. I don't know. I dreamed. Really
I think I saw that too.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, you can't be blamed.
I think it was one of those dream casting things. I think they had the dude from Walking Dead that plays Daryl Dixon.
Oh, Norman Reedus. I know people have been talking about that for
Norman
years.
Reedus.
About him.
Yeah, I think that was a fan cast thing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because this looks interesting, and I was like, okay, whatever.
and they had Nicolas Cage as Blaze. He was playing not Blaze. The dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who was Blaze's dad? I can't remember his name.
Who, Barton Blaze?
And then they had they had a
mustache.
younger guy playing Danny Ketch as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was I think that was all fan stuff. They've
Okay,
been doing
good.
a few of those, which are kind of like red herrings because you look at it and you're like, oh, actually, I could see that working.
I
And-
dare.
it looks interesting.
I dare
And
you.
they're like, where's the announcement about this? Oh, this isn't real. Are you kidding me?
I dare you, MCU, to do 90s Ghost Rider, and then you bring in Nicolas Cage with the trench coat and the Hellfire shotgun and the long hair.
And the Sunnies,
Yeah, do it. Chomping those cigarettes. Do it.
But yeah, it says Wonder Man will release on Disney Plus. It was expected to be the 2023-2024 television season, but again, it's unclear now because of the writer's strike. So,
okay.
Yeah.
How long do you think the writer's strike will go for? It's been going on for a while now.
Yeah, I
I'd
think it's
wager
not-
at least another couple months.
Okay.
At least, if not longer.
I mean, at this point, I think they're saying, Hollywood's okay with losing more money than they're asking for.
No. Okay.
They've already done that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
more power to the writers. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
crazy
Correct.
what the studios are doing, at least in my completely uninformed opinion. But I'll always side with labor. That's my
That's it.
mantra.
Go for the little. Go for the
Yes.
little man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I usually side with the writers anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, so not only do we get all the history on Wonder Man and the Beast, we get all the summary of the 90s series. We get the current events from the Kurt Busiek Avengers. But we also get
That was nice to see.
It the Living Colossus.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the greatest surprise. I think,
That was fun.
of the whole miniseries. I love that.
Yeah, and just so well drawn. I got it, so well drawn by Bagley again.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
really cool. I loved how Wonder Man smashed, it could detach its
Yep.
appendages, and I loved how we smashed it and then the dust just reformed again.
Reformed itself. Yeah,
so cool.
That was great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, actually, we even got a reference to the old Hulk battle.
No, I invented
Yeah.
it, you dick.
Yeah, that was nice too. Yeah, It versus the Hulk back. God, that was back in the '60s, I think, wasn't it?
It might
Maybe.
have been.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
old. Yeah.
That was a while ago.
I have to say that all of the editor's notes, made my heart grow like 3 sizes as I was reading this because it was just so awesome.
There were a lot of them. Yeah.
One of the things, though, I mean, and I know Wonder Man has changed a lot, and you see visually, after the events in Avengers, he's changed after him coming back from the dead. But one of the things I just got reminded of was in the Wonder Man series how they were starting to play with his powers. Remember that? That was really cool.
Based on his emotions.
Yeah. So it's a shame that kind of got lost in like the reworking of Wonder Man.
Yeah.
But I mean, having said that, I do love seeing him. Actually, I do like the the visuals of him being purple and just having the red W. That's pretty cool. But a little bit of me still give me the old jetpacks any day in the black and red.
Yeah. The classic. Yeah.
Well,
but I like.
it was.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just quickly about to say I liked also how the action escalated. That escalated quickly, Justin. From issues 1 to 3.
Escalated quickly.
How like issue 1 was more like it was humans, it was terrorists that he kind of beat, and then you have armed response, and then it all culminates in the Living Colossus. I thought that was pretty smart as well.
That was cool. Yeah. And you got a nice wrap up with the whole Lotus storyline in the last issue too, which was nice. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that I was a little disappointed in was at the very end of the original Wonder Man series. They had set up this new status quo, with the new costume and new, kind of knew everything at that point, right?
For issue 5, yeah.
And we got 26 and 27. We had 2 issues of it, and that was it, I guess. But,
well, there was 2. It was 26 and 27. What was that with the Hulk? And then there was that like the last 2 with like Spider-Man, and then there was basically
the Spider-Man.
They're like, oh, read Force Works number 1 for the final fate of Wonder Man. It's like,
but it was. They didn't really kind of refer to that, but I did like what they did. At the end of the series with. Him creating that foundation, which was, I thought a really good kind of way to play on, because he's had so many second chances that he thinks,
right.
Was, I thought that was really cool.
And it kind of put an end, without sounding too harsh, to all his moping, because he was moping a lot.
There's a lot of anger.
So much. It was kind of like, I was like Beast as well when Lotus was trying to hypnotize him. I was kind of thinking, yeah, you're right, Beast. He keeps on going on and on about it. Like, just get over it.
I did like that moment when she tried to hypnotize him, and he's like, honey, you know what? I've been, mind effed by the best, Mesmero,
Mastermind.
Yeah, exactly.
Mastermind. Yeah. You can't hold a candle to those guys. I love it.
Okay, but I mean, as much of a artist as Roger Stern is, and how great his writing is, there was one big gaping plot hole. Where was Gamma Burn?
Gamma Burn.
Yeah, I was. Yep, when they were recounting all the old nemesis, because they mentioned who's that guy? It was a
Rampage.
No, it was the big one that smashed them all. No,
Angkor.
Angkor.
Yeah.
So when they recounted and we heard what happened to Angkor again, I thought, surely we're going to see what happened to Gamma Burn. But
Gamma Burn,
it was a shame.
Never heard or seen of Gamma
Burn. But or like Will said, we didn't see Splice either.
Yeah.
No Splice.
Played a big part in the series, right? At least a few.
He showed up a few times. Yes, I'm surprised they didn't have him as like Lotus's bodyguard or something. Something.
Even
I must admit,
solo backup story in one of the annuals.
Actually, that would be really cool. That exactly what annuals are for, to kind of fill in those gaps. So
definitely.
Annuals have gotten smaller. Am I correct in saying that?
They have.
They're like
Yeah,
32
I've noticed
pages now. They used to be like
Yeah.
64.
They were.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened.
I'm actually working on getting my comics in order. Yeah, it's a thing. But I'm rebagging, reboarding, and I ran across some of the 100-page monsters. You guys remember those?
Oh,
from the early
yeah.
2000s?
Wow.
Love
Those were awesome. You know, you
Yes.
had like an X-Men, and whatever month they would put out 100-page monster of that series, and they were just 100 pages of comics for like what, $2.99?
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Whatever.
That is crazy. Yeah.
And
That'd
for
be
a while, DC was doing the 80-page giants too for a little bit,
Mhm.
for a couple of years, trying to get on that. Yeah.
We need DC and Marvel to kind of compete again and just, up the ante
That's
with
right.
each other so we reap the benefits as the
That's right.
Exactly.
More story. Yeah. Yeah. I miss the big annuals. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, again, I want to say that Wonder Man annuals were really good that we covered too. Really enjoyed
Those were
them.
really good. Yeah.
I'm hoping since the annual, like the flavor of annuals is kind of back now. I don't know if they've ever gone away, but it'll be great to see a Wonder Man annual, hopefully. But it's a bit of a tough ask because he hasn't got a series at the moment.
Well, I was going to say, you know what they should do? I mean, they've been doing on different characters, like Spider-Man, they've been doing those Silver Surfer ones, like miniseries set in the 90s recently. They need to do a
Yes.
Wonder Man one.
Yes.
Oh,
Totally.
can you imagine? Oh, that would be so
Yeah.
cool.
Hell, let's get Jeff Johnson penciling that. Come on.
Get
Yeah.
Jeff Johnson back. Oh,
Now you're talking.
Absolutely.
I love that idea.
from when we
Yes.
spoke with him, I reckon he'd be up for it.
Oh.
I reckon he would.
Oh yeah.
I think he would. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here, would you like some paying working artist? Okay. Art character I love? Yeah, sure.
So, do you guys think that because Marvel's been doing some series, from and Ray, I don't know if you've heard of this character, Moon Knight. He
Interesting.
but the Scarab character from Moon Knight, is showing up in there. So, do you think that maybe as Wonder Man fans, when the show premieres, we may get a Wonder Man series out of that? Does that sound?
Oh yeah, I think
Okay.
at least a mini
Yeah.
at the very least. I reckon high chance of a mini, small chance we'll get an ongoing. Yeah, they'll definitely test the waters. He hasn't. Unlike say Moon Knight, who regularly has like regular series, Wonder Man hasn't. So I reckon he'd be a little bit more of a risk. But I would love to. I'd love to see it.
Where has he been featured most recently? Somebody know? I know he's not a part of the recent Avengers lineup.
I was going to say they might add him to the Avengers because right now the Avengers are basically the characters from the MCU. So, so once he makes his debut, they may throw him back in there.
Yeah, this is a while back, and actually no, Uncanny Avengers. He was there. He had a romp with Beast as well in the Jerry Duggan run. But that was a while ago. We're talking that's pre-pandemic. That's still a good 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, and I know. I know his character really got messed up under Will's favorite writer.
Spend this.
He's basically like, I'm a pacifist and I hate what you Avengers stand for.
Yes,
It's like, shut
that's
up,
right.
Bendis.
He became a pacifist. That's right.
And the Beast is totally different now too, from what I understand.
Yeah, he's
right?
pretty. Yeah, he's evil. But again,
Is he like a god?
no, he's like evil.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's
He
been that
was like
before, I
cloning
guess,
and
but-
weaponizing Wolverine clones. It's just.
Oh no!
I'm just waiting.
Let me
I'm just
have-
waiting for them to turn the whole Krakoa thing around. They're all impossible plant clones. Just
Funnily enough, I've just decided to randomly dive into that again from the start. House of X. And I've only read House of X and Power of X. I'm enjoying it now. Maybe because the shock has faded. But yeah, I think it's been pretty good. Just having a look here. So Wonder Man, last seen, he's been in a couple of the Avengers Unlimited Infinity comics available on Marvel Unlimited.
Oh, okay.
I haven't. That's his latest appearance. I haven't checked it out, but listeners might want to check it out. Comics wise, Iron Man #6, he was in there. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
assuming-
Well, you know what? There was a lot of that was a flashback. So I mean,
okay.
but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So he has popped up here and there. The Excellent. I've never even heard of that title. that was out this year. He's out this year. Thunderbolts last year he was out. He was there. And Empire. He was part of Empire, that big crossover at the big event, which I didn't follow.
Right. That was
With
the Kree scroll thing. Yeah.
The Kree scroll, and there was a tree race or something. Or...
Yeah. Oh, the Kotati. Yeah, the Kotati.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, Marvel did Marvel did an event? What?
I know.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, there's that Iron Man 6. Yes, I did get that, but it was like a flashback to West Coast Avengers.
He's got the Silver Centurion.
It was like a lot of it was a flashback to the West Coast Avengers days. So
that's fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn into grumpy old man for a second.
Turn into.
For the longest time, I mean, so I'm an Avengers fan from long back, right? Because I'm old as dirt at this point. But I could tell you, okay, look, I know that the Avengers, 226 has the Black Knight on the cover, because that's when he comes back. It's got a really great cover. I could have told you, that, hey, this arc happens in, the 270s. It's
Siege on Avengers Mansion.
Yes. But when they started rebooting it, I don't even know what volume we're on right now.
Well, they've done that with everybody, And
I'm like, get off my lawn. Give me one number, one series.
Well, and again, too, we talked about this last night, on the Green Lantern podcast. Remember where it's like, it used to be, Avengers don't kill, and, they were ready to court-martial you if you missed a meeting or two. But then Bendis is like, let's put Wolverine on the team.
Oh, yeah. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong?
Avengers don't
the Red
kill.
Hulk on the team.
I know.
Exactly. That's funny. Yeah, I'm with you, Will, as well.
He's a grumpy old man too, Will.
Yeah. But everyone go read Jed McKay's Avengers.
Yes.
Yes.
Jed McKay is great.
It has been good, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
It's just, they say, hey, it's a new jumping on point, but, sometimes it's a jumping off point. And, I jumped off Avengers a long time ago, and I've never really jumped back on. And which is kind of sad. Which is kind of sad because the Avengers are so much a core of, like, my childhood reading, as I was like, I'm going to say something that most people are not going to understand. I used to have a subscription to the Avengers. They would mail me the comic in the mail every month.
On time. It was on time too. It was on time. You didn't have to wait a month for it.
I think some kids don't even know what a mailbox is. Will.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Everything's online now. So anyway, sorry.
Oh my God! Did you cut the back page out of your comic? Is that what you did? You heathen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you weren't enamored with, because, I was thinking, like, to get someone back on board like yourself, Will, you'd need like some sort of like solid, consistent run with the Avengers without it jumping and going to and fro. I felt, and I didn't read all of it, I felt the Jason Aaron Avengers run was quite long, wasn't it? So did you jump or have a no?
It was like 60 some issues. Yeah, the Jason
60.
Aaron
Yeah.
Oh, that's impressive. Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan of it, so I just wondered if you had read it, Will, and what you thought. But yeah,
I'll have to give it a try. I'll put that down on my.
I mean, especially towards the end, there's a lot of like multiversal stuff. Like multiverse stuff, and
save Age of Khonshu for last, Will.
Yes.
It
needs, look, let's just be honest. The Avengers need the likes of Cersei, Herc, Black Knight, Bomber Jackets, Vision, White Vision.
Yes.
We just need all that back, and then you have the best iteration of the Avengers.
I thought Ray was going to go full Ray to be like, what the Avengers need is Cersei, Tigra, Crystal,
and Wonder Man, actually, and Wonder Man.
And Wonder Man. Yeah.
And Wonder Man.
Yeah. Death Cry.
Or give us I really enjoyed Kelly Thompson's Avengers West Coast with Kate Bishop. I thought that was really good. That was a while ago now. That had Tigra in it, Phil. Oh, hey. But I would love to get a regular ongoing Avengers West Coast as well. I think that would be.
I would like to see 2 teams of Avengers again.
Yeah,
Especially now that we have this massive roster for the Avengers that we didn't have 20 years ago. Now we have everybody in the Marvel Universe on the team.
Yeah.
Why don't we have multiple Avengers teams?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Exactly.
I mean, I know you're probably not getting Iron Man at this point, but how about, we restart the Avengers West Coast with some of the mainstays like Wonder Man, maybe U.S. Agent.
Iron
Living
Man.
Vision.
Vision.
Lightning.
yeah.
Living Lightning.
Living Lightning. Yeah, what is
Living
When's the last
Lightning.
time you seen Living
Yes.
Lightning? Yes.
Awesome.
Firebird. We haven't seen her in a hot minute.
Yeah. Oh, Firebird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's.
What's Hank M doing these days?
Oh God. Yeah. All I think of is that suicide note from that early
Oh,
run.
God.
Yeah.
Heavy stuff from Hank.
That's heavy stuff.
Like, oh my God.
What? Hank talked to the hand Pym. Is that what you said?
Oh, God. Yeah, he's not had he's not the best. But yeah, no, plenty of West Coast Avengers to pull from as well.
I think the time is right for another Avengers team.
The Shroud.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Justin,
Yeah.
get the Shroud back in.
I love that idea.
Well, you can hear where can you hear some reviews of some of those that the Avengers West Coast miniseries and like the first 2 issues? I know the Marvel Tales podcast. I know
That's right.
only on the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Oh, I love that West Coast Avengers miniseries.
Oh yeah,
I
me and
love
Justin
that
just reviewed.
so
Me and Justin
much.
just reviewed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That was
really
super
good.
fun to revisit that one.
Graviton. Oh,
Graviton is awesome
Yeah.
villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a great scene with Wonder Man in that one, where he's pinned
yeah.
to the bottom of that swimming
yeah.
pool.
He keeps him like in the bottom of a pool for a day. Was it
And
like a
he's-
day? Wasn't it like
yeah.
a day? Yeah.
It was like almost a whole issue. He was down there and slowly like gripping his hands into the concrete, trying to work it through. It was so good. I love it.
Yeah. No,
I
it's
mean, it was
good.
such a great cliffhanger ending, when Graviton throws him down there, and you're like, oh, crap. And, we didn't remember, at least I had forgotten that he doesn't actually need to breathe.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's like, oh my God, this is bad.
Yeah.
While Wonder Man just going ho hum, I'm just here.
Oh no, he clawed his way out of that pool, man. He was pissed. He's just,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's had massive, like, again, we got to remember Wonder Man, just the sheer strength, like near unlimitless, like ionic energy, toe to toe with the likes of Hulk, Thor, Namor. Like he's up there, like top
Totally.
tier as well. And I remember, I think it was a West Coast Avengers annual. I can't remember. He fights. I think it's from. Who was it? Hyperion or something? And he bashes him through the center of the earth or something, and he comes out the other end.
Yes.
And he's just, we're talking about heavy hitting here.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is really a huge hitter, which makes him like when Bendis turned him into a pacifist. That was just really
No, that's crazy.
a little bit funny.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
crazy.
but he's got a lot of potential.
all right. 2 questions. 1, is Wonder Man on par with Namor, Justin?
My favorite biscuit. Well, I will say that he is physically stronger than Namor. Yeah. Especially
Okay, went right over his head. Okay.
especially out of the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You're asking if he's hotter than Namor.
What?
No.
Yeah.
No.
well, was he on par?
He's around. Yeah, it depends on his haircut.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't deal with the mullet. And
Yeah,
sometimes when like in this miniseries, sometimes his hair in this one looked kind of weird. I was like,
Yeah,
I
did
get
you-
it. They're trying to make him look like a silver fox here, but
Yeah.
it
What do you
didn't
guys
really
think
work
about the
well.
hair? Yeah, I mean,
No.
Justin, it wasn't for you, Will?
No,
What
I
did you
didn't really like it. Yeah.
It was. I guess it was early '90s. I mean, I don't know. It didn't necessarily work for me. And I'll be honest. I mean, I know George Perez designed his new look, with all the Kirby crackle and everything, but it's never quite worked for me. I mean, I'm imprinted upon the Jeff Johnson Wonder Man. That's
with the dark hair. That
Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. The crackle makes him kind of look more cosmic when he's not. Like the beauty about Wonder Man is that it's kind of he's been augmented through experimentation. He's very much rooted in not like reality because he's he's made of ionic energy, but he's nothing to do with cosmic, and he looks very cosmic in the purple. So he looks very dynamic, but I like the red and black as well.
Well, my other question, because since he will be played in the MCU by a person of color, do you think they're going to change his look in the comics? Since he can become energy, and maybe they'll play with he can change his form and stuff, and
it's a good question.
That's possible.
There's definitely a possibility. Although, if we look at precedents as well, like Heimdall and the likes of Valkyrie, how have they been in comics recently? Are they being portrayed as a change?
I'm trying to remember Heimdall. I think Valkyrie they've had. I don't know if it's supposed to be the same character, but they do have one that looks like the MCU. I mean, they have played with it in the comics. I mean, Sam Wilson looks just like Anthony Mackie at the moment. So
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. For some reason, I don't think they'll go down the purple crackle route for Wonder Man in the TV show. I think it's because it looks like it sounds like, well, from what I've read, it's kind of lighthearted based. It's like comedic almost. I don't know how it will work.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I reckon his powers will probably be very understated, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get him, or at least not right off the bat anyway. I don't think we're going to get to see him reach the levels that we saw in the comic book as far as his strength.
Are we gonna have constant red eyes, or are they gonna tone that down, or maybe they'll just have him wear dark sunglasses the whole time so you can't see?
I could see the shades thing. I could totally see the shade thing.
The shades thing definitely.
I wonder if they'll go with kind of a similar tone. I mean, She-Hulk was, I thought, just wonderful. It was just it was delightful. How about that? That was, and they had her doing some pretty cool things, as She-Hulk, but, a lot of it was, much more grounded kind of comedic stuff, right?
Which, right.
Maybe they'll have the same approach for Wonder Man. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. You're right. I reckon that tone, I think it might be similar to that tone. I could be totally wrong, but because the Wonder Man series, and that's where I guess they'll draw a lot of inspiration from. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because it got really dark and it got really heavy. Yeah. But initially it came across as kind of light.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they might be veering to the initial response, like the initial comic issues.
Like it might be like Will was saying, like a She-Hulk, but instead of like the lawyer thing, they might just like playing up like the Hollywood tropes and make fun of all that.
Yeah, exactly. Make fun of. Yep, sorry.
I think it was confirmed too that Ben Kingsley's character, was going to be in this, probably as like his acting coach or something. So I mean,
hilarious.
he'll bring some comic relief to it, no matter what.
Yeah.
Oh, but
how do you?
Okay.
Oh, so go ahead, man.
No, I was just going to say we got the return in this series too of his agent Neil.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly. Neil Sarian is his name. But he the ponytail, moustache, looking a little bit dodgy. But I reckon they will totally play that up in a TV show.
Oh, I hope Neil, because I don't know if they ever confirmed if they went with him, but I know they were in talks with Bob Odenkirk to play the agent.
I love it.
Better Call Saul.
Oh man.
Well, so what do you guys feel like is essential Wonder Man? I mean, I don't really think that they're gonna, at least, and this is a guess, I have no information. I really don't feel like they're gonna have him die and come back, in the series.
Yeah.
So they're gonna jettison, kind of that Masters of Evil-y type stuff. I mean, of course, there's a Zemo in the MCU, so maybe he creates him somehow. I mean, we don't know. But what? If they're going for that Wonder Man series kind of feel, early, series 90s series feel, what are kind of the non-negotiables that you would say that you have to have for it to be Wonder Man?
The essential, yeah, that's a good question too.
Gamma
burn?
Certainly, it's Gamma burn. I'd certainly say the Hollywood angle. I reckon, Masters of Evil. I reckon they'll probably do, as you say, they'll do away with that, and it will just be this scenario of almost like deconstructing superheroes. Like, he's a celebrity for a superhero. Why not use that in Hollywood and be successful? And then I think it will be a peek into like behind the curtains of the industry, like a little bit of a poking fun at how it is in the Hollywood business, in the industry. Okay. So I think that element of Wonder Man, because I don't think they'll touch upon him, and they can't, of being a villain to the Avengers before he becomes a hero. I don't think they'll do that at all.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think they'll keep it really simple and maybe just make it like, here's a superhero that has made it into Hollywood, and this is a scenario. And I think that's it. But I could be, again,
I mean, if they want to put the death thing in there, I wonder if it's going to be like something like, oh, he gets killed in a battle, like some superhero maybe did he get killed during the Battle of New York, and he's standing next to some device that brings him back with ionic powers or something. So you could still play. You could still play with like the fear of death thing or whatever. But
that's true. Yeah,
because that would be good, because that is quintessential.
And maybe not the Avengers, but maybe it's something like where like he was set up to betray someone close to him in his life, and then he has to deal with that too. I don't know.
Well, the 70s Wonder Man, I think if he doesn't say it like a million times that his fists hit as hard as Thor's hammer, he maybe says it 999,000 times. I don't know.
That'd be a funny line for the show.
That would be good. I hope they throw that in there.
No, you know what they need to do? Even if he doesn't wear it in his personal life, they have to show him in a movie wearing that red safari jacket.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. There'd be some callback to that, I reckon.
With the red shades.
Yes.
Yes.
So one of the things I would like to see, and I don't really have any expectation of this. You have to remember, I don't have a lot of expectations from Hollywood because I'm such a Green Lantern fan and a Quasar fan. So that probably, dims my perspective. I don't know, whatever. But if we ever get the X-Men in the MCU, a Beast and Wonder Man. I mean, this issue, the 3 issues that we've just read, because somehow those two characters got stuck together back in the 70s, and yet, when this series came out 30 years later, that friendship of the characters still somehow works, and that would be really cool to see on the screen.
I would love to see that too. Yeah, and it was nice in the first issue of this miniseries that they had that reference of when they first met in the Avengers, because I had actually forgotten how long the Beast was a member of the Avengers. I thought he was only there for like a year or so, but he was there for quite a while.
Yeah, he was a full-on regular. I mean, that's full-on regular, right?
And that's and then after that he went to the Defenders. But that whole period of the Avengers is pretty hazy for me. When Wonder Man and Beast were part of the team, like I know the Wundagore Mountain story really well, and a lot of some of the other stuff around there. But there's a lot of it that's kind of hazy. So it was nice to have a callback to that era, which I feel doesn't get a lot of spotlight.
Korvac.
Right, Korvac.
Korvac,
one of my favorites. But yeah, their friendship is one that really shouldn't work, but it does, and I love it. I love the fact that they got together again in the Wonder Man series a couple times. It's so good. Yeah, I would love to see that in the Wonder Man show. Maybe just a casual reference to Hank McCoy somewhere would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have to be careful, because if they do have any plans and they do mention him, or they don't want to get too far into details and paint themselves into a corner. Later on when they introduce him.
Yeah. See, that's the thing I think is going to be missing. It's just all his relationships with the Avengers and like other heroes, because it's the MCU is just so different, and it's like it's.
Yeah, are they going to even go with the whole Wanda romance route? Are they going to completely forget about that?
Yeah, because we don't have the brain engrams, so it's not going to be the same.
Oh, yeah.
There's no connection with Vision at all.
Yeah.
Unless they pick.
Unless
they get Machine Man in. They do some Machine Man.
Yes. We haven't seen Machine Man yet.
No, I was going to say, unless they want to try to kind of bring White Vision back to what he was before.
Right.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we know the White Vision's flying around out there somewhere. So
Yeah, that's right. He's hanging around. That'll be good. Be interesting.
See, just Scarlet Witch be like, "Why are you talking like that? I have a Hollywood actor in my head now."
Just call me Simon.
Just call me Simon. Yeah.
I feel like we never even have to pick issues. I think we could just jump on here for an hour and just discuss stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Here's a topic. We just need a topic, and we're like, okay, go.
No, but I mean, look, drawing it back to the 3 issues, though. I mean, we've all kind of said how it was enjoyable. It was a little short in a few things that they could have done and maybe could have expanded upon. But I think as a whole, it was quite tight, especially with the Bagley art.
Yep.
If it had any artists lesser than Bagley, I would say it would be a harder slog to actually read through it.
Yeah.
But Bagley does make it fun, and yeah.
And it. I think Justin said it. It's such a great, wrap up kind of, summation of that '90s series. In particular, it also makes callbacks to other Wonder Man stuff, from previous things. But it does sum up that '90s series, I think, really, really well, and deals with any lingering things that, I'm sure we talked about when we talked about those issues. Like, hey, did he really just kill that guy, or
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole Angkor thing, and
yeah. So it was kind of nice to have all of that, wrapped up in a nice little bow. The Mephisto stuff, whatever that was.
That was still like up in the air, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Some things were an illusion, some things weren't. Well, what's going on?
Okay, Lotus didn't die. Lotus didn't die now.
Yeah, exactly.
But Mephisto laid her whole scheme out for me. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It got a little bit messy there. Yeah.
That was funny. She's like, "How does he know that?"
Yeah, it really did. It really was this nice, kind of wrap up, and we don't get a lot of. I mean, nowadays we don't. We don't seem to get a lot of real, series like this that have, an ungodly number of editor's notes and lay out, a real chronology kind of for a character. I mean, we kind of get the whole life of Wonder Man in these 3 issues. I mean, it doesn't go into great, huge detail, but, we get, hey, this is where he started, and he was in the Avengers for a while, and then, this happened, and it's
a great overview.
It's something that me as, a cranky old guy, I guess at this point, I feel like we don't have that sense of continuity in, today that we had, back in the old days, Sonny.
You have to say it.
The Marvel Universe felt like this kind of cohesive whole, right? That, hey, the X-Men were over here, Spider-Man was here, the Avengers were here. But now it seems so fragmented that, it's not, it doesn't seem like it's that cohesive.
I would say it seems like it's a double-edged sword where it's like now with like the, with all the electronic stuff, email, everything else we have, it's so great because you can get creators from all over the world, but I don't think everyone's communicating as much as they used to. Like when we had a smaller poll.
Yeah, like they were when they were working out of the same building.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember it was at one of the events or something. It had, I think, Doctor Strange in it, and at the same time, Doctor Strange was going through something in the Jason Aaron run. It's like, hang on, he shouldn't be able to be here in Manhattan because he's friggin' struggling. So there's always a big disconnect, and that it does take away from the whole universe aspect of Marvel. When writers are able to just, use the characters regardless of continuity. I mean, we know that for bigger tier characters, and I'm not saying that Doctor Strange isn't big tier, writers and editors kind of guide writers that look, you can't write about Daredevil in this one. You can't bring him in because he's pretty big, and we don't want to mess up where he's heading towards. So they do that to an extent, but yeah, there's still a lot of disconnect.
I've noticed that too. Yeah.
Yeah, because like back in the day, even like a villain would show up, like, I thought you were dead, and then you get the big monologue explaining why they're not dead. Now it's just like, oh, they're not dead. They're not dead.
Yeah.
Go with it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, don't ask questions. They're alive.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
they scattered his ashes, and they
That's right.
buried the ashes, and then they shot him into the sun. How are you back?
Exactly.
It was
How
a
is he
clone.
back? It was a,
It was a clone.
dream.
It was an LMD.
Ben Riley crumpled to dust, and we still brought him back.
Yeah, exactly. Details. You don't need to know.
That's right.
LMD, that's my favorite right there.
Ah.
LMD.
Bravo.
LMD.
Or it's just the X-Men. I thought you were dead. I got better.
I shook it off.
Walked it off.
Well, that was the thing also in this series with Alex. It's just like they're having that walk together, and it's like, well, she said, well, you died, so I kind of thought that I should move on. And it was kind of good that Simon was like, yeah, I moved on as well, actually. So I'm with one. So it was very amicable with those two, but it's rightly so. I mean, you can't blame the guy and Alex for kind of, did they marry? Yeah, for marrying together.
Yeah.
Because the guy died. Like, generally, that means that.
On the news.
That's the end.
Yeah, but if you live in the Marvel universe, should you wait more? She said she got remarried. She got married after a couple months of him being dead. It's like, shouldn't you wait a little longer in the Marvel universe? Because I mean, people are popping up alive all the time in the Marvel universe.
She should have waited at least 5 issues.
Yeah.
Whenever you date a superhero, you have to remember about the resurrection clause.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm actually kind of curious. I mean, up until like the late 80s, so almost 25, 30 years of the Marvel Universe, they were saying that about, 10 years had elapsed of actual time in universe, I think, looking at stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I get, and we got a little bit of sense of that because, I think the Beast said he joined in like 127 or 121 or something like that. And then a few weeks later, Simon came back.
A few weeks later,
It's like in 150, and that's like, wait a minute, that's like
20,
30 issues.
20, 30 issues. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Time goes very slow over there.
Yeah. It's
Very
the workings of Immortus. It's all Immortus is him doing. He's behind it all, I guarantee it.
Or Kang. Or
Kang.
Ramatut.
Yeah. Scarlet Centurion. Yeah.
Oh my god! The greatest thing I was reading. Venom 25 came out today. It was an oversized thing, but it's like there's a whole time travel thing with Doctor Doom, and then it's like at one point Doom and Kang are sitting in a room, and Kang's explaining to Doom about the laws of like time travel and stuff. About again, they're going back to it because I know Bendis ignored it, but they're going back to the Grunwald because he even says it's like the Grunwald something or other, where it's like you cannot go into the past and change the main timeline. If you go into the past and change something, it creates an alternate timeline. Because there's a big explanation where it's like there's like the Virgin timeline where you cannot change the past. If you try to change it, it just diverges another timeline.
They actually called it the Grunwald effect?
Yeah, it was Grunwald something. Yeah.
Nice.
I love
Bravo.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes my heart.
Al Ewing, man, he's the man. Yeah.
Yes. That's good stuff. I love that.
Because I do remember that. Remember the end of Quasar 52, Will? He's like, oh yeah, I sent what's-his face back to the, told him to go back to the dawn of time because he can't affect this timeline, can he?
Yeah. We're still here, so I guess he didn't.
I've got to reread. I've got to do a whole reread of Quasar.
I need to too, man. I really do. And I'm glad you suggested that because it's been a while since I've read any of those issues, and I still I love Cosmos and Collision just so much.
Totally, it's such a brilliant saga. Internal title saga.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Kicks Infinity Gauntlet's butt all over the
Yes.
Look, I can't say I agree or disagree. They're very good. I mean, I love Infinity Gauntlet, but Cosmos in Collision is very, very good as well. So.
That's a series that needs an omnibus or an epic collection reprint or something. Quasar. They need to start pumping it. Yeah.
60 issues. That's big enough.
Yeah.
They did like 2 collections. I think they only collected
Yep.
like 25 or something. So
No. Yeah. You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
1 to 9. Really, really weird. The first one was 1 to 9, and
1
then
to 9.
then 10 to 25.
did they add any
That's
Avengers issues in
strange.
that 1 to 9 one though? Maybe or
They might have. I've got it. I haven't really
Something,
checked it. Yeah.
They may have added the Marvel Comics Presents story because he was in there for
Oh,
one,
yeah.
one
Yeah,
short story that I think Grunwald and Paul Ryan I think drew as well. You know,
Okay.
'cause neither of them are with us anymore, unfortunately. So
Mm.
yeah, because I remember those 2 collections came out, and as a joke, I sent them to Lilith Hellfire one year. I think it was for Christmas or her birthday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
did she read it? Oh, you can't.
I don't
you
know.
can't
I don't know.
say that.
I don't know if she read them. I'm like, here, from the host of the Quantum Zone. Here you go. All right. I'm sorry. We got to go full circle. Yes, Lilith Hellfire.
Your mother's a whore.
All right, kids. I hope you enjoyed this episode, because if you didn't,
Your whole family can suck it.
I can't wait till my little flower's back. My dainty little flower.
Don't pull it out unless you're going to use it. That's true for guns and penises.
All right, boys. Any other final thoughts on this, or any other Wonder Man business?
No, just.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry. Go ahead, Ray.
Oh no, please.
I'm happy to learn that it has been collected into
Yes.
either a hardcover or a trade paperback. So I'll have to pick that up just to support it.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. As well, it's definitely worth picking up as well. The Wonder Man is not in that many. Like, he's actually in a lot of Avengers titles, but stuff focusing on him, it's not that much. So this omnibus will cover a whole heap.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited about the omnibus. It's going to be cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And remember, kids, what is it? Is it the beginning of the year, Justin? We're getting a ROM or Romnibus coming out.
Romnibus. The Romnibus will be in our little grasp somewhere in January.
We'll cover some of that, yeah. And then aren't they doing Micronauts? Because you and Russell were doing some
Yes.
Micronauts, yeah.
There's a Micronauts omnibus coming out as well, and me and Russell are going to cover all of that. Yeah.
Nice.
That's going to be fun.
All right, and I'm going to announce it here. Yes, originally this WonderCast was going to take the place of your monthly Daredevil podcast, but you're still going to get an episode of Daredevil this month, kids, because me and Lilith Hellfire may come back early for it. I'm going to talk to the writer of the new Daredevil #1 that came out this today,
Oh, nice.
Saladin Ahmed. So, yeah.
Oh,
Very
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So, get more content, kids. I cannot wait for November when DG Chichester's back with a, speaking of those Marvel miniseries set in the 90s. Daredevil
A new
Black
issue of
Armor,
Daredevil.
yes.
Yeah.
That will be so good. With is it Netho Diaz, right?
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
Predator. Yeah.
Ah.
I can't wait to see that. Oh,
Fantastic art.
so good. Yeah. He's amazing.
Yeah, we're going to have new content. Actually, new content to talk to him about. Plus, he's doing a Kickstarter, too. So,
Love it.
Oh, he is. What's the Kickstarter? I'll have to take a look
Axel's
at that.
Infernal. We're going to next Chichester chats at the end of this month. Yeah, we're going to talk to him about it. It's not even out yet, so I'll give you all.
Okay.
Yeah, Axel's Infernal. Yeah, it's like demons and hell and truckers. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Cool.
Mm. Yeah, next
Love
Chichester chats, he'll let us know what it's all about and when the campaign's going to begin. So,
Oh, that's exciting.
Awesome.
Cool.
all right, let's get out of here. All right, kids. So yes, so send us all your Wonder Man thoughts, all your Avengers thoughts, and if anyone wants to slip me that Marvel Legends Hawkeye figure with the Sky Cycle, yes, you can. Email me, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, the Patreon. Find a link to the Patreon. Again, you can hear all of Lilith Hellfire's drunken thoughts on every part of Heroes Reborn from the 90s. This month, Tyler and I did a review of the 1999 Mystery Men, which garnered some feedback from Ray himself.
Yeah, I
I love
love
it.
that discussion, guys. I love that. I love that film, and also incidentally as well, I've finished listening to all of the Lilith Heroes Reborn stuff. That was hilarious, really good.
So good.
So find everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. All right, straight from the Batcave. Ray, where can people find you and your many podcasts when you're not playing Marvel Snap?
Marvel Champions. Anyway, you can find me handle at Rey Pod, REY Pod, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also Blue Sky now.
Ooh.
I've stepped up my game. Love to chat comics. So all the links to the podcast Into the Night, Moon Knight podcast, To Know Where Is to Fear Her, Spider-Woman podcast, and Predator and Prey, the Yaocha podcast, I'm going to say. It's the only one out there, exclusively Predator.
That's right.
Just check it out through my handle, at Rey Pod.
You need to change that handle.
The Hard Master.
Ooh. Hope it's not taken.
Rumpy Pumpy.
That one. I might do at Rumpy Pumpy.
Sex on the Mind. Exciting times to be a pimp. Couple of balls down the gob.
And of course, kids,
Batman. My favorite character. Nuts.
you can say you can play the dirt. Him saying the dirtiest things. He does not care. Like I said, the only thing that really offends him is
Batman. My favorite character. Not.
See? All right.
Oh, I love it.
All right, Mr. Will Allred, who joins me on Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast every week.
Yep.
All right, so you also do your own Kickstarter comic, and you do. Just tell them, Will. Where are you up to?
All right. You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED on Gmail and Twitter. I refuse to call it X, and Blue Sky as well. Ray, I'm gonna have to look you up on Blue Sky.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Another convert to Blue Sky.
Yeah. And I also write comics like Phil says. If you're interested in checking out Crossover Division, that's at crossoverdivision.com. And if you want to check out Diary of Night, thank you, sir.
Sweet.
You can check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And obviously, you're here listening to a bunch of guys talk about Wonder Man, which means you probably know who Marvel's Quasar is, and you might just love him almost as much as we do. You can find out more about Quasar at up there. Yeah, there it is. You can check out
there it is.
more stuff about Quasar at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org. And of course, I hang out with Phil every week on Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast.
Why?
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
That's right.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
Those live reads were such gold.
And that was printed in a comic.
A Fantastic Four. Damn Star Blast. All right, because since Ray's busy playing Marvel Snap, the new busiest man in podcasting, Justin. All right, he joins me every week on Marvel Tales at the end of every month on We Are the Night, the Batman podcast, discussing Azrael. So that's safe those weeks, Ray. And of course, now twice a month with me, him, Tyler, and sometimes Mr. James Cole on Electric Mullet, the Superman podcast.
Yes, which has been great fun.
But that's not all. He podcasts even more. So, Justin, we already heard about the Predator and Prey podcast. So.
Yes, Predator and Prey, the Yaocha podcast. You can hear me and Ray, Russell, and Sparky twice a month on that. And also you can hear me and Russell twice a month on Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is. Twice a month we talk about everything to do with the Hulk and the She-Hulk. And we also have restarted a new podcast, Gone, the Form of Man, the Etrigan podcast, where we're going back to the 70s and talking about the beginning of Jack Kirby's Crazy Demon, going all the way back to 1973, I think it was, and discussing his entire first series and all of his appearances in the 70s. It's going to be great fun. And we were joined on our first episode by Matt and Jacob from the Bronze Age Monsters podcast. Always great to talk with them. And last, but certainly not least, The Lost Library of Legends is finally out after almost 2 years of production and delays.
So we're getting this on tape, Phil? This is real.
He sent me the first episode. I still don't believe it.
Scream at yourself to make sure you weren't dreaming. Yeah, it should be, by the time that this is out, it should be everywhere to listen to.
Nice.
The first episode, yeah.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
That wasn't even a drop as well. That was just...
Wow!
Superior puss. Well, that escalated quickly.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back. Well, probably next time Lil takes a vacation.
We'll be back sometime, yeah. We'll have to figure out what we're going to talk about next time.
We were joking. She said she needed a month vacation after doing 4 months of Heroes Reborn.
It's understandable. It's very understandable.
Fine, man.
Next time Lil takes a trip or goes into rehab, kids, yes, we'll be back.
She has a nice rest.
Yes! No, Ray, a nice rest.
Nice rest.
Justin's like, I'm about to put myself to bed, too.
That's right. I can see that in my future, and I don't need a crystal ball for that.
Keep an eye on it, kids. Good night.